Stanley Cup victory. The Carolina Hurricanes are champions for the first time in 20 years. We've got team coverage of the celebration, plus what we know about a planned celebration for a parade.
Party in the streets, a huge night for Caniacs after their team won the Stanley Cup. Their celebration that lasted deep into the night.
Championship swag. Caniacs are coming out to buy brand new Stanley Cup gear. We'll give you a look at the new merchandise out this morning.
A muggy starts here Monday, but not as hot as recent days. I'll show you when the humidity drops today.
We are following those stories and more with WRAL News at 8 o'clock starting in 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Oh, you know, we had to have a special show open for this Monday morning now that the Carolina Hurricanes are Stanley Cup champions for this year. Thanks so much for joining us here on WRAL News for your 8 o'clock hour. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. Good morning, everyone. What a great morning it is. I'm here outside Lenovo Center, the home of the newly minted Stanley Cup champions. And here at Lenovo, all boxes are checked with the 16 hurricane warning flags. The Canes got the job done, marking the 16 playoff games that got them to the Stanley Cup. It has been an incredible journey as we await the Canes' return to Raleigh. Our team has you covered on this historic championship win. We begin with meteorologist Chris Michaels and a look at how our Monday is starting off. Chris, I can tell you the sun's starting to peek out from the clouds here at Lenovo Center in Raleigh.
Bright start to the morning in more ways than one, right? As we give you a live look over North Hills, where the sun is poking out a little bit more than some of the earlier clouds, and temperatures responding. They'll be a little slower to climb today. I think we're thankful for that after some of that intense heat in recent days. High temperature currently in Holly Springs and Clayton is 74. Garner, Knightdale, Rollsville, Cary, Fuquay, and Durham. Good morning. You're all at 76 degrees. Taking the dog out for a walk, you'll see that sunshine off and on throughout the day today. Midday temperatures right at about 84 in the Triangle with highs near 90. Keep in mind, even though the heat isn't as intense, that things like blacktop and concrete, they absorb that heat. So if you're walking the dog this morning or this afternoon especially, make sure you keep them on the grass. Now, there's going to be a return to some intense heat later in the week. The one day that nears record highs coming up. Kirsten.
Chris, thank you. We'll keep those positive vibes rolling into traffic this morning as we're actually starting to see things clear up here on I-87 at Smithfield Road in Knightdale. We were seeing some congestion here in these southbound lanes heading into Raleigh, but it looks like things are flowing smoothly at this point. We'll just keep an eye on it, though, just to be sure it stays this way. Taking a wider view here, not too much of a delay. 1 minute from Durham, 1 minute from Apex, Johnston County. We're back down to 2 minutes in Knightdale. It was 9 minutes not that long ago and 5 minutes from Wake Forest. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3 for the latest updates.
For the first time in 20 years, the Carolina Hurricanes are Stanley Cup champions. And this video right here behind me is the moment last night when Captain Jordan Stahl hoisted the cup in their Game 6 win in Vegas. He also won the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP. Taylor Hall got the scoring started last night in Vegas. He scored less than 4 minutes into the game to give the Canes that 1-0 lead. Jackson Blake scored in the second period to double that. And the Canes never looked back. Brandon Bussey kept the puck out of that net all night long, shutting the Golden Knights out. The Canes won the game 3-0, finishing off the series 4-2. And Raleigh has turned red after the Canes championship last night. We're going to give you a look around the places around downtown that were lit up in red in celebration overnight, including the Raleigh Convention Center, PNC Plaza, and right outside the WRAL studio. Certainly a lot that people have to be excited about today. So many different storylines sort of came together with a stunning finish last night. Renee, I know you're live outside Lenovo Center, where so many people, I'm sure, will flock at some point to go to the merchandise store there and possibly other places locally.
Well, Chris, first, let's talk about the celebrations, not just at the watch parties, but also what's to come. WRAL has confirmed with Governor Josh Stein that there will be a championship victory party for the Carolina Hurricanes. It will be in downtown Raleigh on Saturday, and that will be a change from the parade 20 years ago when the parade was outside here at Lenovo Center. Back then, it was RBC Arena, but fans cannot wait for the Canes to finally make their way home from Vegas. Their first stop, of course, will be at RDU, and that's where we find Ali Kadlabar inside Terminal 2. Ali, are you seeing any Caniacs there waiting for the Canes to come back?
Well, I am seeing some Caniacs getting here wearing their championship shirts, and they're getting ready to catch a flight. We are on standby looking for anybody who's just getting back from Las Vegas after the big win last night. It was, yeah, woo! That's what we want to see. Are y'all coming back from Vegas? Yeah, all right. Stand by. We're going to talk to them in just a little bit. Okay, y'all stay here because we want to take you back to those moments outside of Lenovo Center for that watch party as the Canes won the Stanley Cup. There was towel waving, drinks flying, thousands jumping up and down. That's what it was like every time the Canes scored and Bussy blocked a shot. But it was that final goal in the last few minutes when the excitement really started to build. After 2 decades, the Stanley Cup would be coming back to Raleigh. And this was the Caniacs' reaction right after their win.
We got the cup! We got the cup! We got the cup! It's been too long! 2 decades! We feel amazing! Let's go! I love this right now!
Oh yeah, we all love it right now. The Canes are expected to be back here at RDU later this evening. They're going to be at General Aviation Terminal, and we're going to have team coverage starting at 4 p.m. And we're going to speak to these fans right here in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Reporting live at RDU, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News. Let's go Canes! Woo!
Ali, thank you. And all those Caniacs will certainly want to update their Canes gear with championship gear, right? And stores were ready right after Game 6. They opened early with already pre-printed merch. Our team coverage continues with Kelsey Coffey, who is live at a Dick's Sporting Goods in Cary. And Kelsey, I understand fans were already waiting for the doors to open.
Yes, Renee, and we've seen fans coming in and out of the Dick's Sporting Goods here at Crossroads and Cary, so you can see some of the merchandise here, and folks are here shopping, trying to get first dibs. I know that I've got the best assignment of the day, so I can get gear myself a little early. So you see those T-shirts here, and if we also pan around this way, they have some sweatshirts, or those sweatshirts may be sold out. Let's see, here's some up here at the top. So this is a great option if you want something, if you're going to the games next season. And what's of course the most important, the fact that it says Stanley Cup champs. Let's also show you this. If you want some items for your house, maybe you think, I have too many T-shirts, I have too many sweatshirts. Well, check this out. They have glasses that you can have in your home with that coveted title, Stanley Cup champions. So Dick's Sporting Goods here, they opened at 7 o'clock this morning. We saw a lot of folks coming in whenever they opened their doors, and the staff here says that they're expecting for their inventory to go pretty quickly. So Dick's Sporting Goods here will be open until 9 o'clock tonight. We'll be sure to keep you updated. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
All right, Kelsey, thanks for that. And coming up in a little later in this newscast, we will talk about one of the heroes of this Stanley Cup run and Stanley Cup final, surprise goalie Brandon Bussy. You will hear from him directly about his incredible NHL debut and this whole journey. Chris, back to you.
Oh, it's been such an incredible way to get all the way here, a Stanley Cup victory, Renee. And you know what? It didn't take long for the team to have all the championship swag ready to go. WRAL's Eric Miller was at Lenovo Center after the Canes' victory to catch up with fans trying to rep their newly crowned championship team.
Here outside the Lenovo Center this morning, there's not a whole lot left of this watch party other than a few hundred empty beer cans, water bottles, and the occasional sign that the Canes are now Stanley Cup champions. It's no longer a hurricane warning. The storm is finally here. Category 5 pandemonium flooding the streets outside Lenovo Center following the Canes' dominant win.
Job's finished, baby. Let's go. I just got the one hat. They ran out of everything else, but I got a hat, baby.
Inside, more than 18,000 Canes fans packed the stands. Outside, thousands more jammed together, shoulder to shoulder. Some waiting for this moment literally their entire lives.
As long as I can remember, and this is the first Stanley Cup we get to watch, and it just being out here in this environment is one of the best things, one of the best moments I've ever had.
Even Governor Josh Stein, the Canes fan-in-chief, swept up in the celebration.
We've been coming to games all season, all last few seasons, to see how this team has worked so hard and been so committed. Rob Brindamore is an unbelievable coach. He has a plan. They've executed it to perfection. Incredible talent up and down the lineup. It's a team.
There was so much fan demand for this Stanley Cup Champions merchandise, they completely sold out of T-shirts. They did have a few of these hats left behind, though. We are assured there is a lot more on the way for those Caniacs, and that store right over there, it opens at 10 a.m. In Raleigh, Eric Miller, WRAL News.
I wager plenty of people will be outside there. Your time is 8:11 on this Monday morning. Bussey's journey from a waiver wire pickup to starting goalie in the Stanley Cup final. A look back at his crucial role in the Canes championship run.
And we're starting out this morning noticing a little bit of a dip in humidity levels from the triangle northward. I'm going to show you when they continue to dip, how far low they go, and when we see the return of record heat. All that coming up in less than 10 minutes. (8:14) now. Happy Monday. Today looking at temperatures 88 to 90 degrees for highs in the triangle. Hotter than that as you head into the Sandhills, but even still not as hot as the last few days. And a little bit of relief in regards to how things feel humidity-wise. As dew points drop into the 50s, that means there's less moisture in the atmosphere, and things will actually feel more comfortable or at least tolerable compared to the past few days. All the tropical moisture, all the tropical humidity, that's staying to our south thanks to the front that's passing through today. But eventually that changes. As we go beyond Wednesday, we'll start to see some of that moisture making its way into North Carolina, and that could result in some higher storm chances. I'll show you what's causing that and what's causing some higher and near record temperatures later this week, too. That's coming up in just about 5 minutes. Kirsten?
Chris, thank you, and good morning. We are on the Beltline again this morning. My Ridge Road camera is still waking up. This is I-440 at Ridge Road. It was moving just a little bit ago, and now it has stopped, but seeing some congestion on here. I'll show you what I'm talking about here as we take a wider view of that northern loop of the Beltline here. We've got a 7-minute delay here, I-87 to Wade Avenue, so just something to be aware of as you're heading out the door this morning. Then taking a wider look again here at our drive times this morning. From Durham, 1-minute delay, Apex, a minute delay. Coming from Johnston County, a minute as well. 3 minutes from Knightdale and 4 minutes from Wake Forest. So also tune us in on the radio to be updated on 101.5 HD3.
Kirsten, thank you. And back to our Canes coverage. Just a moment ago, we had someone drive by yelling, "Go Canes!" So let's talk about one of the heroes of the game, goalie Brandon Bussey. In Bussey We Trusty, taking over Game 3 in the Stanley Cup Final. Hadn't played in 2 months and was incredible in that. Then he starts Game 4 and 5. That really changed the dynamics for the Canes with 2 wins in a row in the series. Bussey's performance was insane for Game 6. He shut out the Golden Knights in Vegas, and Canes win it 3-0. Here's what Bussey had to say about being part of this amazing run.
To be honest, I'm feeling a little numb right now in the sense of like, I'm sure I'm going to crash at some point, but I haven't yet. I'm just super thankful for everything that's happened. I love being with this team. I love all the guys, everyone behind the scenes, family being here. It's special, and I'm going to remember it obviously forever.
And after the win, one of the beautiful moments on the ice that people will remember forever, Bussey hugged Freddie Anderson there, the goalie who got the Canes to the playoffs and started in the first 3 games of the final. When asked what he said to Anderson, Bussey told Anderson that he deserved most of the credit for this Stanley Cup run and for the win. So for Caniacs, they love both Freddie and Anderson, and both so deserving of the credit for getting the Canes to this Stanley Cup championship. Chris, back to you.
Clearly, they both played such a critical role in the team getting to this point, Renee. Well, the Hurricanes were also led by Captain Jordan Stahl. He had 6 goals in the first 5 games of the series. That was enough to earn him the Conn Smythe Award. That's given to the MVP of the playoffs. And with his children by his side, Stahl said the family culture in the locker room, that's what helped get the team to this point.
You can't care for each other unless you don't get to know each other and you become a family. And I think our group, cares so much because we became a family. And this is really family, but in that room is the same feeling.
And at 37-year-old, Stahl is the oldest player to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. And this is Stahl's first Stanley Cup championship since 2009 when he was with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center. There are so many amazing moments from last night post-game and all of the celebrations, including this one here inside the locker room with Coach Rod Brind'Amour. He's being called Rod the Bod, and look at the video. You'll see why. It's Coach Rod Brind'Amour taking off his shirt as the champagne is flying, and they're celebrating here inside the Lenovo Center, and he hoists the Stanley Cup here. Of course, it's just an incredible journey for him becoming a coach after being on the winning team back in 2006, as we reported. Now here in this moment, in his post-game interviews, he said that he really wanted this win, but not for him, but for the team, for the players, so that they can experience what he experienced back in 2006.
That's that suit, misleading. Look how jacked that man is, but very awesome that he was able to witness that as now coach of the team. You can, of course, go to the WRAL YouTube channel for all things Hurricanes. Search WRAL on YouTube, and then look for our Carolina Hurricanes 2026 Stanley Cup title run playlist. And you know what, folks? We are looking to another Stanley Cup parade. We have learned the parade will be Saturday in downtown Raleigh. And the video you're seeing here is what it looked like 20 years ago when the Canes last celebrated a Stanley Cup win with the parade. Certainly awesome to see all the confetti there, the confetti over in Vegas from last night. And I'm sure, Chris, we'll see plenty more at the parade on Saturday. But the question is, will it be cool enough for people? Because, I mean, this hot trend that we have doesn't look like it's going away.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like we're going to see that league of heat heading into Saturday. So there's at least some good news on that front. And we're starting out this morning with a live look at Fenton and Cary. You see a little bit of a breeze, and that's allowing our humidity levels to drop a little bit from north to south. That's a process that'll continue between now and the afternoon. It's warm out there, temperatures in the 70s. That's where we'll stay for the next couple of hours. By 10 o'clock this morning, we're near 80 degrees. And hey, I mean, as Chris was saying, 2 out of the last 3 days have hit triple digits in parts of the area. That won't be the case today. We'll see a high temperature near 90 in the Triangle, mid-80s farther north, and some low to mid-90s farther south. But humidity levels will drop to at least a tolerable range. So that takes the risk for heat-related illnesses pretty much out of the equation. That's a minor risk today and tomorrow. However, that chance comes back up later in the week, and especially by Thursday, already talking about the potential for another record high, especially in Raleigh, where the record is 98 and we're forecasting 99. Fayetteville, the record's 102. We're forecasting 98 degrees. So, hey, if Raleigh hits another record, that's just adding on to the record. We've had 15 days with record highs this year, and that's the most through a calendar year. We're only halfway through 2026. Now, you've got that record heat, humidity, and you've got a system that's trying to pull in some tropical moisture later in the week. That could result in some higher storm chances Friday. We'll keep tabs on that, some of the benefits that we could see from it, and also see if there's anything strong on the way. It'll be hot enough for that. Temperatures mid to upper 90s later in the week. It does look as though that system passes off toward the east in time for the Stanley Cup Parade Saturday and for Father's Day Sunday, at which point high temperatures are back in the lower 90s. Kirsten?
And speaking of passing off to the east, we are spending some time down east this morning here in the WRAL Traffic Center as we take a look at I-87 at Smithfield Road in Knightdale. There was a pretty big backup here earlier this morning. We saw a 9-minute delay coming from Knightdale into Raleigh, but it looks like things have really cleared up in those southbound lanes heading towards Raleigh this morning. So that is good news at this time. But let's take a wider overview here at your drive times. We're seeing a 1-minute delay coming from Durham, a minute from Apex and from Johnston County, so not too bad there. But things things pick up a bit coming from Knightdale. We're now at 2 minutes and 4 minutes from Wake Forest. So if you're coming from those two areas, you just want to head out the door maybe a little bit earlier than you typically do to give yourself some extra time coming out this morning. We are trying to keep track of any other crashes or delays. Not seeing too much of that this morning, so that is good news. Want to take a quick look at Durham here. Not too much to be worried about. A 3-minute delay coming from Wade Avenue. Westbound here from NC 50, maybe a minute delay, and then a minute coming from Infinity Road all into Durham this morning. So good news there as well. But again, as you're heading out the door, getting into the car, we want to keep you updated on what we're seeing here on these roads. So be sure to tune into the radio at 101.5 HD3 for the latest updates.
Your time on this Monday morning is 8:22. We're talking about water supply concerns. AI is fueling a data center boom all across our state, which is why WRAL investigates how these data centers could have an effect on the local water supply. And this is just a reminder, if you ever see breaking news, maybe you have a story tip or video and pictures of weather where you are, possibly maybe at some of the Carolina Hurricanes celebrations that you are attending, why not report that to us? Go to WRAL.com/report it, and that way you can send all your videos and pictures straight to our news team.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Hey, good morning. Your time right now is 8:26. I'm Chris Lovingood. Let's go ahead and swing into your weather forecast with meteorologist Chris Michaels.
Heat is not quite as intense as what we have seen over the past few days. If we switch over to weather too, I can show you the forecast we're talking about for today. Temperatures about 85 to 90 degrees from the triangle northward and a little bit hotter farther to the south, but we'll take the humidity gradually out of the equation from now into the afternoon. It is definitely back in the mix by Thursday and Friday. At that point, we have a storm system trying to tap into that humidity, could result in some higher storm chances Friday, could also result in some higher near record temperatures. We'll explain on Fox 50. Kirsten.
Chris, good morning. We are here on I-40 at Lake Wheeler Road. This is that southern loop of the Beltline this morning, and we've really seen things clear up after some congestion much earlier. So that is good news as you're heading out the door this morning. And just taking a look at delays on I-40, really not much to see until you get here, Wade Avenue to I-540. Just a 4-minute delay at this time, so not too bad. But we want to keep you updated on what we're seeing. So just make sure you tune into the radio on 101.5 HD3.
Well, for the first time in 20 years, the Carolina Hurricanes are Stanley Cup champions. This is video of the moment last night when Captain Jordan Staal hoisted the cup after their Game 6 victory in Vegas. The Canes dominated in Game 6. They shut out the Golden Knights to claim their first Stanley Cup since 2006. And Sky 5 was there. Above the moment, the 16th Storm flag was hung outside Lenovo Center, signifying the completion of the championship run. There were also celebrations in the streets. People were honking their horns, the fans packed into cars, even climbing on top buildings. Careful up there, guys. Next on Fox 50, we will continue our team coverage of the Canes Stanley Cup victory. Stanley Cup victory. The Carolina Hurricanes are champions for the first time in 20 years. We've got team coverage of the celebration, plus what we know about a planned celebration for a parade.
Being out here in this environment is one of the best things, one of the best moments I've ever had.
Party in the streets, a huge night for Caniacs after their team won the Stanley Cup. Their celebration that lasted deep into the night.
Championship swag. Caniacs are coming out to buy brand new Stanley Cup gear. We'll give you a look at the new merchandise out this morning.
A muggy starts here Monday, but not as hot as recent days. I'll show you when the humidity drops today.
And because the Carolina Hurricanes have won the Stanley Cup, we're all decked out in red today. I got my tie, I got my flower, I got my pocket square. There's so much to talk about today. Renee also decked out in her red attire. It is such a great morning today. Thanks for joining us here on WRAL News. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. It is a great morning, the day after a Stanley Cup championship win. I'm here outside Lenovo Center where you can see the sign says Stanley Cup Final, but soon that will have to be updated to Stanley Cup Championship. We've also been keeping an eye on the pro shop here. The doors have not yet opened, but we know a lot of you Caniacs want to get that championship swag. We have you covered on this historic run of this amazing championship. We'll let you know just what this means for the team, what it means for the city of Raleigh, and what's next. But we begin with a weather update from meteorologist Chris Michaels.
And I'm just cracking up at Allie waving the towel there in the airport. Gotta love it. As we start out this morning, live look at Lake Gaston, and it is beautiful. A little breezy out there and a drop in humidity from north to south. That'll take us from now through the afternoon. Clinton, Raleigh, and Durham at 77. Roxborough's at 72. Sitting pretty in the mid-70s in Goldsboro and in Rocky Mount, where it's still a bit on the humid side. But that'll change, again, from now through the afternoon. It is a gradual process. Temperatures by midday, they're in the mid-80s. Afternoon highs, they'll make it toward near 90 degrees. So we get a break from that intense heat, but it's a brief break. As you see here on the bottom part of your screen, I'll show you which day stands the best chance of record highs and when we actually have a pretty decent chance of showers and storms coming up. Kirsten.
Chris, at 8:32, things are looking good out there. We'll take you outside here to I-40 at Lake Wheeler Road. This is that southern loop of the Beltline where things are flowing smoothly on both those east and westbound lanes. Traffic moving at a steady clip here. Moving out to any delays we're seeing on I-40, not much to worry about. Just a 3-minute delay here from I-440 to US 1. So something to consider if you're heading on to I-40 from that direction. Want to take a wider view here. Look at your drive times this morning. Coming from Durham, just a 1-minute delay. Apex, a minute delay. Nothing from Johnston County, and then we are down to just 1 minute in Knightdale. If you've been with us throughout the morning, we were at 9 minutes, a 9-minute delay at one point, and we're now down to 1 minute, and we're still sitting at 4 minutes from Wake Forest, but not too bad. Again, just something to be aware of. We want to keep you updated, so tune us in as you're getting into the car on the radio at 101.5 HD3. Chris?
And for the first time in 20 years, the Carolina Hurricanes are Stanley Cup champions. And the video behind me, this is of the moment last night when Captain Jordan Staal hoisted the cup after their Game 6 win in Vegas. He also won the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP. Taylor Hall got the scoring started, though, last night in Vegas. He scored less than 4 minutes into the game to give those Canes the 1-0 lead. Jackson Blake scored in the second period to double that lead, 2-0. And then the Canes didn't look back. Brandon Bussey kept the puck out of the net all night long. You'll see it right here as he helped shut out the Golden Knights all night long. Nope, get that out of here. The Canes won the game 3-0, finishing off the series 4-2. I know a lot of people stayed up to watch this. One of those people, including Renee Chu, outside the Lenovo Center this morning. She didn't even just stay up to watch it. She hasn't been asleep since the game ended.
No, I haven't. I couldn't pull myself away from the TV and immediately just went into work. I'm just running on an adrenaline rush here the day after a Stanley Cup win. Okay, so fans, really want to welcome back the Canes. What a way to say thank you and appreciation to the Canes with a parade. So there will be one. That's according to Governor Josh Stein, who told WRAL there will be a championship victory parade in downtown Raleigh on Saturday. As we await the Canes, their return trip from Vegas back to RDU, that will be their first stop. And that's where Caniacs, who saw Game 6 in person, are coming back right now. Allie Calabar is live at the airport. Allie, I heard you spoke with some of those fans who witnessed that incredible championship clinching game.
I mean, yes, in the last 30 minutes, we have just experienced some really good vibes here at the airport. We've seen Canes fans arriving to the airport and also getting ready to catch a flight away, but they're all decked out in their Canes merch. Everyone acknowledging the towel waving out here, so just good vibes overall for that Canes Stanley Cup win. Watch the moments, though, outside of Lenovo Center where the Canes just erupted with excitement and joy as the Canes won that Stanley Cup. Oh yeah, towel waving, drinks flying, thousands jumping up and down. That's what it was like every time the Canes scored and Bussey blocked a shot. But it was that final goal in the last few minutes when the excitement really started to build. After 2 decades, the Stanley Cup would be coming back to Raleigh. And we just spoke with some Caniacs who were over in Vegas. They were just coming back, arriving at RDU. They tell us that the energy over there in that arena was insane.
It was awesome. There was a huge Canes present there. There was a lot of fans. There was, points and times where everybody was chanting "Let's go Canes" over the night. So it was a great atmosphere. Glad everybody came and to support them.
Oh yeah, we know one thing about the Canes. They will support, the Caniacs will support the Canes at all costs. A lot of pride and joy here. A lot of people looking at me in my Canes jersey. Let's go Canes! Let's go. There we go. A lot of good vibes here at RDU. We are awaiting the Canes to arrive at the General Aviation Terminal around 6:45 this evening. WRAL is going to have team coverage starting at 4. Reporting live at RDU, Allie Cadlebar, WRAL News.
Allie, thank you. And no doubt for those Caniacs that Allie talked to, that Vegas trip was worth it to see the Canes win the Stanley Cup. Okay, so this win makes people nostalgic for that 2006 run. And the common thread tying that together, of course, is Rod Brind'Amour. So with last night's win, Brind'Amour becomes the 7th person to both play for and coach the same team to get to the Stanley Cup championship, and the first to do it in almost 70 years. Here's what Brind'Amour said about how this win compares to the one 20 years ago.
I dreamt about winning the cup my whole life, and so that it was like a piano came off my back. This time around, I wanted it. It was for the group. Like, I wanted them to feel what it's like, and I wanted it so bad for them. So to watch them finally get it, and then when I'm grabbing it, they give it just to see the look on their faces is it's priceless.
And they got the job done, and Caniacs are ecstatic. Of course, with the championship win, they need to update their merch. Our team coverage continues with Kelsey Coffey, who is live at one place you can get championship merch. And Kelsey, I understand you have breaking information on what Caniacs need to know about where they can get their championship gear.
Yes, Renee, all of this new information within the last 15 minutes from Dick's Sporting Goods. You can get your specialty Stanley Cup Canes jersey starting today, online only. That sale is going to start this afternoon, so be on the lookout for the website. Now, as far as shopping in person, they do have a few options here for t-shirts and hats. So here's the hat that they have available for right now. Of course, it has that coveted Stanley Cup Champions title. This here is one of the t-shirt styles. This gray t-shirt. This is available in men's and women's, but the women's has a little extra bling on it. Then look over there. Those are some additional t-shirts. Just know that if you don't see any styles that you like so far, that's okay, because there's going to be plenty more merchandise coming in. We caught up with fans as they rushed in this morning at 7 o'clock as soon as the doors opened. Here's how Scott Gaynor describes how he felt watching last night's game.
Right in the middle of the third period, I'm like, they're not going to come back. The Golden Knights are not going to do anything for the rest of the time. It looked like the life had been sucked out of them, and that was it. Just right at that moment, you felt that adrenaline come in.
And all of us are still riding that adrenaline high this morning. Here's a look at some of the other specialty Stanley Cup items that are available for purchase this morning. So just in case if you don't want a t-shirt or a hoodie, you can still have something to show your Canes spirit. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
And Kelsey, thanks to having the answer to a question that a lot of Caniacs have been waking up and wondering. We know the demand will be fierce for that championship gear. Coming up a little later in this newscast, we will hear from the man at the top of the Hurricanes organization, Canes owner Tom Dundon, and what he had to say about his next venture now that the Canes have won the Stanley Cup. Chris, back to you.
Oh, fans are going to be so excited to see what he has to say this morning there, Renee. And Canes fans made their voices heard inside the arena during the game, as a large number of Caniacs made that trip to Vegas for Game 6. And among them was WRAL's Monica Casey. She shows us how the emotions the fans were feeling after the team won the Cup.
This may have been an away game for the Carolina Hurricanes, but you would not have known it from the noise in this arena. Plenty of Caniacs made the trip and were rewarded with a forever memory.
I had to put my glasses on because I was crying earlier.
Let's go,
Emotions were high for Canes fans who saw their sports heroes hoist the Stanley Cup on the ice in T-Mobile Arena.
It was so cool to just see all the players, living out this moment that I'm sure they've been dreaming of since they were a kid.
This is my first ever hockey game, and I watched the Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup. This is one of the most exciting moments of my life.
Owen and his dad made the trip from Fort Bragg.
We were walking down, and he just got emotional just now as we were walking down the thing, and he saw the people celebrating and said, I think I'm going to cry. I'm like, because you're happy? And he's like, yeah, and he thanked me, which I love the gratitude from him.
Sharing that joy across generations on the ice and off.
This is one of the most exciting moments of my life.
Those fans stayed here in T-Mobile Arena for about an hour to watch their favorite players lift the cup and cheer them on. Next stop, Raleigh. Reporting in Vegas, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
Your time this morning is 8:41 as you're watching WRAL News on Fox 50. MLB in Raleigh? We asked Tom Dundon what's next for pro sports in the Triangle after the Canes Cup win. What he had to say about the push to bring a major league team here. And call it data drain. WRAL investigates the AI boom and the effect a growing number of data centers could have on our local water supply.
And so far this morning, our area kind of split. Farther north, it feels comfortable. Farther south, it is humid. I'll show you when we all feel more comfortable and then when we see the return to record heat. All that coming your way in less than 10 minutes. .45, all this talk about the Carolina Hurricanes. Thankfully, no actual hurricanes to track in the Atlantic. A 20 to 30% chance of development right on the Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast. That's going to be the case over the next 2 to 7 days. You see the model plots showing the storm that's moving into the Bay of Campeche and then up along the Gulf Coast. Most of the moisture with that for the next 2 to 3 days, it's going to stay well south of here. The front that's coming through today really acts as a barrier, almost like a goalie, and keeps it away from us, at least for the time being. But as we head later in the week, that'll start to change. So rain chances are quite low between now and Wednesday. But Thursday night and then again Friday, the chance for storms increasing. I'll show you why that's the case and how many days are back to near record highs in less than 5 minutes. Kirsten.
Chris, we've got weather and traffic updates for you every 10 minutes as we take a live look here into I-440 at I-87. This is that northern loop of the Beltline here as folks are getting on from I-87. Seeing things really flowing smoothly this morning. That's good news at this time as we have seen some backups and congestions. Let's take a closer view here at that northern loop of the Beltline. We've got just a 5-minute delay coming from this area near Capitol Boulevard. Gets a little congested around Six Forks Road. So just give yourself some extra time as you're heading out the door. And stay tuned to the radio, 101.5 HD3 for the latest updates.
And back to our Canes coverage here at Lenovo Center. Rod Brind'Amour spoke in his post-game news conference, spoke highly of Tom Dundon, the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes, and gave him credit for his winning mindset and his commitment to building a winning championship team. Now, WRAL's Pat Welter spoke with Dundon on the ice after the game and talked with him not just about the win, but also a question on people's minds about a possible MLB team coming to Raleigh.
I might have to put my foot in my mouth for asking this question. You can no comment if you want. MLB to Raleigh, what are the odds?
I don't know. I mean, I think we're going to put ourselves in a really good place. And if they decide to expand, we'll have a compelling offer.
We will see if and when that will happen, but few would argue about Dundon's success with the Carolina Hurricanes and his commitment to the hockey team. Carolina and Raleigh definitely has become a hockey town, and the Canes on top of the hockey world. Chris, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, clearly a lot of people are excited to see the commitment that he's given to the team, Renee. And now we're looking ahead to another Stanley Cup parade. We have learned the parade will be Saturday in downtown Raleigh. And what you're seeing here is video from what it looked like 20 years ago. That's the last time the Canes celebrated a Stanley Cup with a win and a parade. And you know what? Why stop talking about the Canes, right? So many celebrations happen from overnight. So let's go ahead and talk about them more and what's trending. Raleigh Mayor Janet Cowell was celebrating the Canes Stanley Cup victory in Vegas last night. She captured the final seconds of the game on video. And if you may recall, She had a little wager, a friendly one, with the mayor of Las Vegas. And with the Canes' victory, Mayor Cowell will receive a sequined Hurricanes jersey from Las Vegas's mayor. And I think I'm one of many people who want to see what that looks like, right? And just a reminder, you can go to our website, WRAL.com, for all things Hurricanes. You can catch all of the interviews that we've gotten with players and their families, post-game analysis, and reaction from Caniacs across the Triangle and the country. AI is fueling a data center boom right here in our state. And as communities weigh billions of dollars in new investment, well, people are questioning about how the facilities could actually affect local water supplies. This is the focus of an investigation airing tonight on WRAL News at 6. Keeping thousands of computer servers cool, that can require significant amounts of water, depending on the technology a data center uses. So tonight, WRAL climate change reporter Liz McLaughlin investigates the AI boom, speaking with engineers and tech companies about the trade-offs behind these projects.
At this point, I think we need to not just look at the engineering factors, but significantly the social factors of what the community cares about and what their priorities are, because maybe not every small town is the right place for a massive data center.
And tonight at 6, we are going to break down how different cooling systems work, what lawmakers are doing to address water concerns, and what developers like Amazon and Microsoft say about the impact these projects would have on local communities. You know, last night, one of the people I was talking to after the Canes won, I was texting Chris Michaels. We were talking a little bit about just how exciting this is, but also how Brandon Bussey, I mean, emphasis on Buss in his name, because Buck King stopped it. Another one stopped it. He would not let them score.
And I loved after the game how he was not taking any of the attention. And that's the thing about the team as a whole, is that they just kept deflecting attention away from themselves and onto their teammates. Let's deflect the attention onto the weather forecast now as we start out with a live look at Pittsburgh, and you see that little deck of some altostratus or stratocumulus clouds, actually. Temperatures mid to upper 70s currently. Raleigh's at 77, Wilson 75, Southern Pines at 76. One of the key differences in today's weather is that we're going to eventually see a little bit of a dip in our humidity levels. And when we talk about that, we're mentioning the dew point. That's your measure of mugginess. That's going to keep our things feeling pretty pleasant heading into the afternoon. Now, look, it is June the 15th. It is still going to be hot. It's not going to be 101 like it was yesterday, but it is still going to be a little on the toasty side. Raleigh, Sanford, Southern Pines, Durham, 90 degrees, Goldsboro, 92, South Hill, 87, Roxborough at about 85 degrees. Now, by tomorrow, most of us in the 80s, more cloud cover, and we could see a few stray showers toward the Sandhills and especially toward the coast. That'll also be the case Wednesday, at which point we are heating up in the mid-90s. By Thursday, could be looking at some record high temperatures in the mid to upper 90s, maybe a few late day storms. But as tropical moisture increases along this frontal system, there's at least the signal or the potential for some scattered to at times numerous showers and storms by Friday. Some of that could be good. Some of that could be on the strong side. So we'll keep tabs on that between now and Friday. Most forecast data suggests that this system is out of here by Saturday in time for the Stanley Cup parade in downtown. And then, of course, Sunday, Father's Day, looks to be a little bit hotter than Saturday, but still manageable. So in terms of our high temperatures, most days this week are fairly manageable. Today and tomorrow included in that. We'll be in the low to mid 60s out the door first thing Tuesday and Wednesday mornings. Highs well into the 90s through Friday. And then things will back off a little bit heading into the weekend. Storm chances for the time being this weekend look to be fairly minimal. Chris?
All right, thanks for that breakdown for us, Chris. We do have a look at your winning NC Education Lottery numbers for yesterday, Sunday, June 14th. Of course, we'll get you another check on weather and traffic, just in case you might have missed it, if you're just tuning in here to WRAL News on Fox 50. Your time is 8:53.